All right, let's talk about something that's basically a financial health checkup for your business. We're diving deep into cash flow. Why? Because you can think of it as the absolute lifeblood of your company. Seriously, without a good handle on it, even a business that's making a profit on paper can find itself in real trouble.
So, to kick things off, here's a stat that's, well, it's pretty shocking. Research shows that a staggering 50% of companies that shut down do so for one single reason. They didn't manage their cash well. Think about that. Half. That's why this isn't just some boring accounting topic. It's about survival.
You know, there's this great French expression, le nerf de la guerre, which translates to the nerve of war. And in the world of business, your cash is exactly that. It's the nerve center. It's what gives you the power to make moves, to react, to pounce on opportunities. Without it, you're paralyzed, no matter how good your product is.
So, what is cash flow when you really get down to it? Because it's way more than just looking at your bank balance. It's a constant balancing act. On one side, you've got your stable, long-term resources, and on the other, you have all the daily needs of the business pulling from those resources.
Okay, so let's break this down. There are a few key pieces to this puzzle, and once you get them, it's like you're reading your company's vital signs. They tell you the true story of how healthy your business really is.
First up, we have what's called working capital, or FFR for short. This is your company's foundation. It's the solid, long-term cash you have left over after you've paid for all your big-ticket items like buildings or machinery. Just think of it as your financial safety net, your stability reserve.
And then there's the other side of the coin, the working capital requirement, or BFR. This is where the day-to-day action happens. It's the cash you constantly need to bridge that gap. You know, the time between when you have to pay your suppliers and when your customers finally pay you. This is the cash your business eats up just to keep the lights on.
And all of this leads us to a really simple but super powerful equation. Your net cash is just your working capital, that's your safety net, minus your working capital requirement, what you need every day. It's what you have minus what you need. This little formula, it reveals everything.
All right, so we've got the formula. Now for the fun part. Let's see how you can use it as a powerful diagnostic tool. This is how you get a crystal clear snapshot of your company's actual financial health.
So there are really three possible outcomes here. First, the dream scenario, healthy. This is when your financial cushion is bigger than what you need day to day. You've got a cash surplus, awesome. Next, a situation of manageable risk. Here, your daily needs are bigger than your cushion, so you have a cash deficit. You're probably leaning on short-term credit to make ends meet. It's risky, but manageable. And finally, the red flag, critical danger. This is when your cushion itself is in the negative. This is a full-blown emergency, meaning you're using short-term loans to fund long-term assets, and that is an extremely fragile place to be.
Okay, you've got your diagnosis. So, now what? Well, now it's time to act. Let's look at how you go from just analyzing your cash flow to actually taking control of it. And it really boils down to two simple steps. Step one, you look ahead. You create a cash budget to predict all your inflows and outflows. You anticipate what's coming. And step two, you act. Based on what you see coming down the road, you make smart decisions. That forecast is basically going to point you down one of two roads for any given period. Either you're heading for a cash deficit or you're looking at a cash surplus, and the moves you make depend entirely on which of those paths you see in front of you.
So if your forecast shows a deficit coming, don't panic. You've got a whole toolkit of levers you can pull right away. You can put the brakes on non-essential spending, you can push harder to get customers to pay you faster, or you could go to your suppliers and negotiate a little more time to pay them. You can also try to reduce your inventory to unlock some cash, or, if you need to, secure a short-term line of credit to bridge the gap.
Now, on the other hand, seeing a surplus, that's a great problem to have. But the key is, don't just let that cash sit there doing nothing. Idle cash is a missed opportunity. You can put it to work. Invest it in some low-risk, short-term options to get a return. You could pay down some of your expensive debt and save on interest, or you can plow it right back into the business and fund your next big growth project.
So, after all these equations, all these strategies, what's the one thing you absolutely have to remember? It all comes down to one single golden rule. Forecast and plan. Seriously, that's the whole game. The single most important thing you can possibly do is to always be looking ahead, always anticipating what your cash needs will be, and then making a solid plan to meet them. So if you walk away with just one single idea from all of this, let it be this one. Proactive forecasting is your #1 job. It's priority #1.
because this kind of foresight, it doesn't just happen on its own. And that's because, as this quote puts it so well, anticipating doesn't happen by chance. It cannot be improvised. This isn't about getting lucky. It's about being disciplined. It's a deliberate process that is absolutely essential for your company's long-term health.
And that really leaves us with one final question for you to think about. When it comes to your own business, are you sailing blind, just reacting to financial storms as they pop up? Or are you navigating with a clear financial map, charting your own course with foresight and with control? The choice and the tools to make it happen are yours.